A small problem in our society we often see that can become a big reason for someone's sadness. We also see people who handle, but we also see people who handle even big troubles calmly. They don't break down. Instead, they grow their hearts too big. The pain does not have any space to stay. Today's story will teach us if you keep your heart small, even tiny problem will make you feel, but if you make your heart bigger, even the hardest time in your life will feel eraser. So let's try to find a reflection of our own life in today's story. Listen carefully because this story is not just to hear, it's to think about. Once there was a young man named Ryan who was very unhappy with his life. He was always feeling down and thought that nothing was going well. One afternoon, Ryan went to a small cafe in his town and to have a cup of tea. His mind he did not have a job, his family was pressuring him, and he was scared about his future. He sat quietly in a corner holding his cup of tea at the next table. A few older to listen, even thought Ryan was not try to listen. Their voices were clear and clear. One of them said, "You know that old man who lives behind his hills? He looks like a normal person, but he full of wisdom. My son was really struggling, and but after talking to that old man, he changed completely." Another one said, "Yeah, people say he can lighten your heart just by talking." Ryan become alert, and he thought, "My life is falling apart. If he really says something helpful, maybe I feel some space." That evening, Ryan started walking quickly towards the back of the hills where people said that wise old man lived. After a long time walk, Ryan reached the house and said, "Grandpa, I have many problems in my life and say I always feel pain and sadness. Please tell me how can I happy?" This wise old man listened carefully without saying anything. That without a word he suddenly talking away. Ryan felt confused, but he waited patiently. After a few minutes, the old man come back holding a glass of water and a small bowl filled with salt. He said, "Take a handful of salt from his bowl. Then drink the water." And I even thought Ryan was not sure. He followed the instructions the old man asked and said, "The grandpa, how does the water taste?" Ryan made a face and said, "It tastes really bad. I can only taste the salt." Then the old man said, "Now take another handful of salt and come with me." They both walked to a nearby. The old man said, "Now throw the salt into the lake." Ryan threw the salt into the lake, and then the old man said how to take a sip of the lake water. Ryan drank some water from the lake. The old man asked and said, "How does it taste?" Ryan looked surprised and said, "It tastes fine. I do not taste any salt and all." The old man smiled, placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder and said, "Look, son, uh, a pain in life is likely poor salt, not too much, not too little, but how much of that pain we feel depend on how big our heart is. If your heart is like a small glass, and even a little pain will make you better, but if your heart is like a big lake, even pain will not affect you as you much." The glass and the lake are symbols of patience. If your patience is small and very small, and then small problems will feel hug. But if your patience is big, then even big problems will not break you. Everyone has problem in life, and there is no one in this world who does not face pain. We cannot understand the really meaning of happiness. We cannot understand the really meaning of happiness without sadness. And we also cannot learn life lesson without problems. But when we keep thinking only about our problems, life start to feel full of pain. And if just a little salt can make a whole glass of water bitter, then think if your heart is small, even a small problem we will drown you in sadness. So when problem come in, don't become small like a glass, become big like a